This is the Mistress Carrie Situation Report for December 2nd, 2025. Evanescence have announced their 2026 World Tour. Special guests Spirit Box and Nova Twins are going to open up the North American leg. Tickets go on sale this Friday, December 5th at 10 a.m. That includes the only New England stop in Mansfield, Massachusetts at the Xfinity Center on June 21st. Former I Prevail vocalist Brian Burkheiser has launched his new solo project called Scatterbrained with a cover of Taylor Swift's Look What You Made Me Do. Last May, Burkheiser split with I Prevail after 10 years, saying, quote, "This year forced me to pivot in ways I never expected, and it tested me more than I can explain. But through it all, your support has meant everything," he said to his fans. "I chose this cover because it truly resonates with me and serves as a nod to what first sparked my career." He continued, "I'm still working towards the day that I can release my original music, but for now, I'm grateful to have found a way to put a piece of art into the world." Radiohead have postponed their upcoming concerts in Copenhagen, scheduled for early December, after frontman Tom York was diagnosed with a, quote, "extreme throat infection." The band saying hopefully Tom will recover in time to play the final 2 Copenhagen shows and all 4 Berlin shows starting on December 8th. "We've been blown away by the audience reactions to these dates, and we're loving being back on stage again. Needless to say, we feel terrible that we're unable to play tonight and tomorrow." Ticketmaster has launched a special Black Friday holiday deal offering major discounts on tickets beginning on Black Friday but running through December 31st. There's the 2-for-1 deal, saving 50% off when you buy 2 tickets, excluding fees, the half off, saving 50% off select tickets, and the Me Plus 3, saving on 4 packs of tickets to select events. Within Temptation are getting ready to celebrate the 25th anniversary of their second album, 2000's Mother Earth, over the coming months. The very first chapter of this journey is a newly recorded acoustic version of Ice Queen, the original album's second single, which was the band's commercial breakthrough and remains one of Within Temptation's most successful songs to date. Sharon Denadell said revisiting the song felt like reconnecting with an old friend, stripped back to its emotional core. This release marks the beginning of a larger celebration of Mother Earth, an album that shaped who we are. Watch this space. Several special announcements are waiting to be unveiled. Styx and Chicago have announced their summer 2026 co-headlining tour called the Windy Cities Tour. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. That includes 2 shows in New England, in Guilford, New Hampshire at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, July 25th, and in Mansfield, Massachusetts at the Xfinity Center on July 26th. The Aerosmith and Youngblood collaborative album One More Time debuted at number 9 on the Billboard Top 200. Aerosmith has now become the second group and 5th act overall, with a newly charting top 10 in each of the last 6 decades, from the 1970s through the 2020s. One More Time also marks the first top 10 for Youngblood after 4 earlier charting titles, and the 10th top 10 for Aerosmith. Aerosmith notched their first top 10 on Billboard in 1976 with Rocks. The band then scored 1 top 10 in the 80s with Pump, 3 in the 90s with Get a Grip, Big Ones, and 9 Lives, and 3 in the 2000s with Just Push Play, Oh Yeah, the Ultimate Aerosmith Hits, and Hunkin' on Bobo, and 1 in the 2010s, Music from Another Dimension. Aerosmith is the second group, followed by the Rolling Stones, with at least 1 newly charting top 10 in every decade since the 1970s. Other solo acts include Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, and James Taylor. Lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs have sent Netflix a cease and desist on the eve of the premiere of Sean Combs' The Reckoning, a 4-part documentary about the disgraced hip-hop mogul, executive produced by 50 Cent. Threatening legal action for copyright infringement or possession of stolen property if the series is released as planned today. The documentary features footage of Combs in a New York City hotel room speaking with his lawyers just days before his arrest, saying, quote, "I'm going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. Y'all aren't working together the right way, and we're losing." Another scene previewed on Good Morning America shows him shaking hands with fans in Harlem, only later privately requesting hand sanitizer and a bath, explaining that he's, quote, "been in the streets amongst the people." The documentary also includes an interview with two of the jurors that participated in his trial earlier this year. PETA, the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is asking for Alice in Chains to change their band name. The animal rights group putting out the name change request in an effort to help a 56-year-old disabled elephant named Betty to get her freed from her current life of performing in 300 circus shows a year, asking the band for a month to change their name to Betty in Chains. Saying, quote, "By the time grunge swept Seattle, Betty had already spent nearly 20 years suffering as a circus prop, and every day that passes with her being hauled from town to town and forced to perform brings her closer to the brink of death." PETA is encouraging Alice in Chains to get loud for Betty with a temporary name change that reminds everyone to stay away from animal-abusing circuses. There's been no statement from the band. The Osbourne family has announced they're selling an official Ozzy Osbourne t-shirt that mocks former Pink Floyd frontman Roger Waters. The two-sided shirt features two images. The first shows an album that bears an uncanny resemblance to Waters' 1990 collection, The Wall Live in Berlin, obscured by Ozzy Rules in giant letters. The second image shows Ozzy urinating on a copy of the album with the stream of pee adjusted to reflect the colors of the visible spectrum, presumably in tribute to the cover of Pink Floyd's classic The Dark Side of the Moon, bearing the message, "Another prick in the wall." The shirt is available via the Ozzy Osbourne web store for just 48 hours and arrives 3 months after Roger Waters slammed the media for their coverage of Ozzy Osbourne's death. And the late, great Ozzy Osbourne is going to receive the Lord Mayor's Award in his hometown of Birmingham tomorrow on what would have been his 77th birthday. The accolade will be presented posthumously by the city's Lord Mayor. Members of the Osbourne family will be in attendance to accept the honor. The Lord Mayor's Award recognizes, quote, "outstanding achievement for exceptional service to the city and people of Birmingham." And that's your sit rep. For more details on all the stories, check the links in the show notes of this episode. And don't forget to like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe to the Mistress Carrie Podcast. New full-length episodes come out every Wednesday. Episode 286, featuring Don Barnes from 38 Special, is available now.